All right, guys, good morning. I am going to introduce you today to Stanley. He's our orthopedic assist friend for our class Create Mask Lodge character. So, for starters, who is Stanley? Stanley is our orthopedic device. He is a skeleton that we actually have in our center, and we use him for many procedures, including the illustration of orthopedic procedures to children, as well as explaining their disease process. Whether, let's say, this patient fell off a skateboard, uh, we would show them exactly how they injured himself. His name is Stanley mainly because he just kind of stands there when we don't really use him, so we adopted him through that name. What makes our characteristics of our characters special is we try to make sure that we are able to um, customize him to whatever injury it happens to make the children comfortable. Whether in this case you see he has a helmet for a skateboard injury, we could also cover her in dirt or clothes for like a park injury. But it also gives the kids the ability to be able to play with their bones. We like to make him also dance the bone sound, just because it also kind of calms down the situation. The kids normally get a little bit more calmer if they have the ability to play with the things that they have. It just gives them a sense of comfort. So, experiential learning procedures that we would use him for, like we explained before, the capability of uh, simulating him to whatever caused the injury. It helps kids understand a little better, like, okay, well, I landed this way, and this is what happens to my bones, um, which is our main reason. How did we create the Mask ED character? Um, we had Stanley around the center for a while, and we didn't really quite know what to do with him. So we started dressing him up for holidays and events when people would come in and tour into the center. And at some point, when we had children in here, they found him entertaining, so we felt that we should start using him for procedures. I know that in the case of our Mass ED and our characters that were created, a lot of them were used to help the learner, as in our medical staff. But here at our center, we try to educate the families as well. So for starters, when we're using a Mask D character or a Malach character, we're using them as a standardized patient or as an embedded patient. So to define a standardized patient, it's someone who has been trained to portray a consistent standardized matter or a patient in a medical situation. Um, Standardized patients can be used for many types of learners, whether it's our own learners or our families. Um, and anybody could use a standardized patient. Now, in the pediatric hospital, standardized patients get a little tricky because uh, the ethical standards of it for children are not set in place. So you actually won't find a standardized patient that is a child. So a lot of the times you find yourself having to create, like the videos we saw today, puppets, or using the high fidelity mannequins and even the low fidelity mannequins to to simulate that standardized patient when it comes to a child. It is kind of hard to get a grown adult to play a child, as we cannot have the same mannerisms, but we can imitate him to some point. And me working in a pediatric aspect, I chose something that would transfer onto my own work environment in the future.